Hi friends, welcome. Welcome to another Fall Decorate With Me video. Today, we're gonna decorate my buffet. Fingers crossed it will turn out the way I have envisioned in my mind. So hopefully it will all come together. But you know, the weather here in Oklahoma has been so hot lately. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm ready for this hot weather to go ahead and usher on out of here and the cool weather to come in. We had a few days of wonderful fall weather, but now it's turned back hot. You guys will have to let me know what it's like where you're at. But anyway, besides it being warm outside, we're gonna make it really cozy inside. So thank you so much for joining me today. So I've been most excited about decorating my buffet since summer because I knew I wanted to use my brown transferware dishes over here, just like I'd use the blue during summer. So I've already added a few pieces to the top of this wall here, right above my buffet and this mirror. Of course, this wreath was still here for pre-fall. I love it. It's gonna tie in perfectly. I also used these crock jugs and I'm going to continue to use them over here again. So let me get this in place and let me share with you what I'm going to use next. So when I was out thrifting this summer, I came across this gorgeous turkey platter. Now I've been looking for one for a long time and this one certainly caught my eye. It was $4.89 and I grabbed it at Goodwill, and this did have quite a few chips along the edges, but you know what, I went ahead and grabbed it because I just thought it was so incredibly beautiful. Then the same day at a different thrift store in this area, I seen this one. The same platter, it's a different shape, and this one was $4.99 as well, but it was half price on this day, so I got it half price, and I just, of course, I couldn't leave it behind. This one was in much better condition and I just thought it was pretty, so of course I thought I needed both of them because I can always share one with my sister, so I grabbed this one. This says Wells on the back and it does say made in Japan. It is just a beautiful piece. Now I usually pull out my turkey items later in the season, so a lot of times I don't even get to really display with them because as soon as Halloween is over, and I don't do Halloween, I do very little. I do have some vintage items I put out like pumpkins and things. That's it. But you know what, when that's over, then I go straight to Christmas. Normally I wouldn't do that, but since I am an influencer here on YouTube, I decorate early because my whole goal is to inspire y'all. And I love this. I love this job. It's so amazing and I'm so grateful for it. But I've been influenced because my friend JoAnn over at The Curated Home, I will have her channel linked for you guys. Go check her out. She decorates with a lot of turkeys and she's inspired me to get mine out as well. And then my other friend, you've got to go check out her channel too. It's RebeccaRohr. She has a beautiful channel and she decorates with turkeys as well. So you know what? I want to use mine this year instead of keeping them packed away and never really getting to display them. So that's my whole goal when I found these platters, was to use them. And I knew I wanted to probably use it over here on my buffet. Now tying in these beautiful brown transferware dishes. This one's ironstone. I have it upside down, of course, but I wanted to display them over here. I love brown transferware and I just thought it would be beautiful displayed over here. So I have an idea and let's just see if it works. But I'm going to pull out these little plate holders or picture holders and I'm going to just display my items with that. And I think this is gonna come together and look really pretty, or at least it does in my mind. So y'all stick with me and let's see how this turns out. Oh friends, I love this so much already. I think the plates on top complement what I've got going on the buffet, and I think it's going to be so pretty. But of course, I have two turkey platters, so I'm going to use this one on the bottom, and then I'm going to make a display inside using some pumpkins and other things that I have. But you know, I was thinking I needed a doily. Well, I don't have a doily that's really that big, but I happened to come across this bag with some lace in it at the thrift store, and it was only $1. And I mean, look at this. This is gorgeous. I don't know if this came off of a bed skirt or a dress, or I'm not sure what. But I thought it was beautiful, and so I'm just going to make my own little doily right here. And all I'm going to do is just kind of circle this into the oval shape of this platter. I think I've got it too big, so I'm going to redo it and make it a little bit smaller. But I think this is going to be perfect when I put my plate on top. So let's see how this works. So another thing that I have been collecting are these Gruely, I think I'm saying that right, candles. As you can see, this one was only 35 cents. I got this one for 99 cents at the thrift store. And then the other two came from an estate sale, my neighbor's, last year. And so I wanted to use them. And so I thought this would be the perfect place. I also have these little salt and pepper shakers. I got these at the thrift store a while back. Never used them, so I pulled those out. Got a few other things like some Bibles, some leaves, and of course those bark leaves I got at Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago. Love those. So let's just make a display right here. This is a gourd that I have that's brown. I think it's so pretty. And all I did many years ago was just glue a stem from an old pumpkin on top of it so that it looks like a pumpkin. And it's one of my most favorite pumpkins I have. But I'm going to add these leaves right in here, and then I'm just going to stack these pumpkins on top of this platter. Okay, because the platter has that, dip in it, I just put a few little, I used a couple of those little Bibles, and I put another piece of wood on top. So I think that will hold up that pumpkin, give it some height in the back, and also it will make it set a little more sturdy because I don't want it rolling off. I want it to stay in place, so I think this is going to work. I just added one more pumpkin off to the side, and so now I'm going to tuck in these bark leaves. I love these so much. I wish I would have gotten a few more at Hobby Lobby when they were carrying them, but I just got one set, and I just think they're beautiful. So I'm going to layer those around this platter, and of course I love the added texture that this is bringing. Okay, so I do have a few more of these brown transferware little saucers, or plates or whatever they are, dessert plates. So let's use them. I'm going to add some to one side and some to the other. Now, I'm really not a symmetrical kind of girl. That really never bothers me. But since I've kind of got some type of symmetry going on here, I'm going to play off of that and continue to decorate that way. So on this platter or plate, I'll get it right in a second, on this plate, I'm going to add two Bibles, and then let's just take one of these white salt and pepper shakers and place on one, and then let's mirror that on the other side. So I want them to be similar, but not the same. So let's add these candles in here as well. I think these are so pretty, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to set it here or if I wanted to set it on top of the Bible, but I'm actually going to change it in just a minute, so I'm going to share that with you in just a second. But I am just going to place them over here. I've got one more. The big one kind of leans forward a little bit, this one, and not this one, that's a small one, but the other one, it kind of leans forward just a little bit. So I thought I would take him and add him to the center of this platter display that I have, so that he will stand up and look pretty and really be kind of the star of the show. So I want to go ahead and layer in a few more things. I've got these acorns that I have placed around this platter as well, and I did that because, you know, I just love adding in more layers, and so that's what I'm doing. I just have a few more things, like some pine cones, a few other little pieces I'm going to tuck in here and there, and I think that's really going to add to this display and make it just come to life, so it's not so flat. It has lots of interest and texture, and I think that really adds to the ambiance of this display. And friends, I love it. You'll have to let me know what you think. Okay, so the only other thing I can think of that it would need is just some candles. You know, my friend Liz over at Traditions by the Seasons always says, let there be light. So I want to add a little bit of light and ambiance to this display over here. So I'm just going to bring in these brass candlesticks, and then of course some battery operated candles, and I think that will create a cozy feel right here. So moving over to this little cabinet that I have sitting beside my buffet, I want to decorate it. Now this is something that I kind of put together for pre-fall, and I'm going to use it again. I'm just going to add in a few things. So I've gathered some things I think I want to use. I've got this stem that came from Walmart. These hops came from Target. And again, these leaves that I have right here are from Hobby Lobby. They're some of my absolute favorites. So I'm going to tuck that inside, and then the only other piece I'm going to add to this is just a few other hops stems that came from Hobby Lobby as well. And I think that's all I need to make this full and pretty. Yes, I absolutely love this. I love that it's wispy, and I love that the crock ties in with what I have going on the buffet. So I'm just going to tuck in a leaf, and then I'm going to call that done. I think it turned out really pretty. So I'm going to bring in those other pieces that I collected. I've got this container. I'm not sure where this came from. I've had this for many years, but I just love that brown color, and I love pulling it out every year to display at fall. This is a thrifted little crock. I'm going to set it there, and then of course I've got that beautiful thermos that I thrifted several years ago, and it's just the perfect thing to add for fall, and I think it'll tie in perfectly right here. So looking at this, I do have one other piece, another turkey, and this one was the top of some kind of like little uh, container, and the bottom broke, but the top was so pretty I couldn't throw it away. So my sisters used it a few times, and so I got it this year to use. I'm just going to tuck a leaf underneath it. I'm going to put a few pieces of silver in this crock, and I think that's all it needs right here. So friends, I love this, but there's one thing I want to add. Now, some of you are not fans of this, but I love this packing material. And to me, I just needed another layer. You know, layering is the name of the game. And so I'm just going to tuck this right underneath this platter and this lace. And I just love that little extra dimension it gives. It really does look like brown lace, but I love the texture of this. So I'm going to add some all around and call it good. So you guys tell me what you think of my buffet and this little area I have decorated. I truly love this. I just am so in love with these beautiful turkey platters that I was able to thrift, and I'm so thankful for my friend JoAnn and Rebecca Rohr for inspiring me to go ahead and pull out those turkeys and start using them now in my display, and I'm absolutely loving this look. Friends, I just want to say thank y'all so much for being here and watching. If this video inspired you in any way, I would appreciate it if you would give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would consider subscribing to be a part of our YouTube family. We appreciate each and every one of you. I love getting to know you a little bit better in the comments. Y'all are just so sweet. And friends, I would also like to ask you to please remember Angie's family in your prayers, and to please pray for our country and our nation. The Kirk family has lost, you know, a tremendous soul in this world, and we just need to continue to pray for his family and all those that loved him. I pray it will bring a great revival to our nation. Before I go, I'd like to share this beautiful Bible verse with y'all. It says, "But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name." John 20:31. Friends, this world is evil, but you know what? God came to save us. He came to set us free. And the way to do that is to accept him as your personal Lord and Savior. Call on him, confess your sins, ask him to come into your heart and save you. And friends, you will be in eternity with him one day, because I believe with all my heart that Jesus is coming back soon, and I pray that each and every one of you are ready. Friends, thank you for being here and watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. And friends, we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye, y'all.